This video was recommended to me in our comment section. Why don't you react to this video made by dwieperview? Because apparently this one explains Umamusume a little bit better than the other video that we watched from Bonsai Pop. So here we go.
It's a show about horse girls. At first, I thought that this was going to be the kind of show I just play in the background while I clean or something, but once I pressed play, I couldn't stop watching. I laughed, I cried, I cheered, I cared, like what the hell happened? But before we get into that, let me go over its concept. Umamusume, no. Don't worry, I won't do that. Basically, in this world, legendary racehorses from Earth are reborn as anime girls with horse ears, tails, and insane athletic ability. They attend a special academy where they train and learn everything there is to know about racing. Then they compete in actual races from the JRA, or in this case, the URA, aiming for first place. And when the race is over, whether they win it or not, they perform an idol concert in front of a roaring crowd for some reason. Oh, and every single one of them is female, even the ones based on stallions. As ridiculous as this sounds, underneath all that is a genuinely heartfelt, character-driven sports drama. Anyway, this franchise was only really an obsession in Japan, and now that the game is available everywhere, it is safe to say that it has become a global sensation. By the way, I'm 300 polls in the Kita-san Black banner, and after spending quite a bit, I did not get a single copy.
What?
To make things worse,
I got 320 polls and 4 copies of Kita-san. Not the 5th one, like it's not maxed out, but I know that there's going to be another Kita-san Black event in like a couple of months, because that's what the JP players told me. And they said you're gonna get the ability to upgrade your card once. So when the new event is coming up, I can upgrade it once more and then have like a maxed out Kita-san Black.
I also don't have Super Creek nor Fine Motion. Like, please send help. Also, this video will only be about the anime, so let's get into it.
He should just reroll. Rerolling is very easy. I did 2 rerolls until I got this super lucky hand with Kita-san. This game makes it incredibly easy for you to reroll. Rerolling literally takes like 2 minutes.
Into it.
Eclipse first, the rest nowhere.
If there's one thing you need to know about the Umamusume anime is that it just keeps getting better. Every new entry builds on the last, sharper writing, deeper themes, incredible animation, harder, emotional hits. At a point, you'll ask yourself, why am I crying about anime horse girls? I genuinely don't know how they keep pulling it off, but they do. Every single time. First, let's start at the beginning. Season 1. I think it is, without a doubt, the weakest part of the Umamusume anime. Not because it's bad, but because it feels like the creators were holding back. Like they were still figuring out what this show could be. The drama's light, and while it tries to hit you with emotional impact, it doesn't always hit the mark. Honestly, if you don't know what comes after, you'll enjoy it a lot, like I did, right? But once you start watching more, you realize that season 1 barely scratches the surface. That said, one thing this season gets really well is the comedy. Stuff like Oguri Cup devouring the entire menu, or Gold Chip just being, well, Gold Chip.
Did she just do Kamehameha?
Through the whole series, and they honestly never stop being hilarious. And in the end, season 1 does what a first season should. It brings you into the world and gets you hooked.
If your anime has good comedy, everything else can be built up afterwards. Comedy got me into One Piece. The thing that made me love One Piece at the very beginning, when I still watched it like frequently, right? I'm on a One Piece break, but the One Piece comedy was very unique. My model has some emotions based on One Piece because I thought they were just incredibly hilarious, like this one. I thought the first few seasons of One Piece were hilarious. So if your show has good comedy, that's like the first step into creating something incredible. And when it comes to the first season not being perfect yet, there's some animes that have slow starts. I would say that even something like Gintama, which I adore, Gintama's my number one, has like a slow start into the show. Like the first 14 episodes are more like an introduction to the cast, to all the characters and what they try to achieve.
And then I watched season 2. And it changed my life. Season 2 takes everything good from season 1, the charm, the fun, the energy, and adds the only thing that was missing, genuine emotional impact. It's on a whole different level. Like, I did not sign up for that, but I'm glad I did. And what hit the hardest was how relentlessly tragic it all felt. Everything just kept falling apart over and over. Teo broke her leg 3 times and McQueen got diagnosed with a condition that could end her racing career. And even though it was so brutal, they never gave up. That kind of resilience, even when everything's stacked against you, it's so good. This season really shows its understanding of what it's like to break, to lose everything and somehow find a reason to keep going.
I love when sports shows do that. One of my favorite things that happened during Captain Tsubasa, for example, was the battle against Jun Misugi's team. And he had a heart condition. And at some point his heart was acting up. And he was basically saying, no matter what happens this game, don't substitute me, coach. I want to play it until the end, even if the game kills me.
これはどうしたことでしょう。僕はこの試合だけはフルタイム出場するって見すぎだから僕は決めたんだこれが僕の最後の試合になってもいい
It was also raining in that episode, like all the emotional triggers were present, and it was one of my favorite episodes in Captain Tsubasa, like the desperation and Tsubasa feeling bad for him and Jun Misugi basically telling him, don't hold back just because you feel bad for me. I love these moments in sports. They're very like cliche, you could say, but I don't care. It's beautiful.
It left me speechless more than once. But if there's anything I didn't like, and honestly, it's just a minuscule nitpick, it was the awkward CGI in some scenes that felt jarring and lifeless.
What the fuck is this?
You know
that looks
coming.
weird.
Road to the top! The animation, the detail, the color grading.
Wow.
I honestly believe that they hired Makoto Shinkai. They pulled it off again. It's amazing.
I mean,
But
the game is
beyond the
super
visuals,
successful,
though, what I love
so they
about
have the
Road to
budget.
Top is that it gives us something more grounded, more mature. This ONA doesn't follow some legendary horse girl like Special Week, Tokai Teo, or Gold Ship. It's not about glory or redemption arcs or miracle wins. It's about mental health. And it's told through the stories of 2 horse girls that each fight their own internal
Who's
battle.
she?
Narita Top Road with the
That's a
weight
horse
of
I don't know.
expectations, and Ayabe Vega with survivor's guilt over his sister's death. With just 4 episodes, it tackled these extremely heavy themes and executed it wonderfully. Then there's TM Opera O, she's just vibing. Season 3. I've seen many posts, comments, and reviews saying that it is worse than Season 2. I understand because Season 2 and even Road to the Top have set a really high bar, but I don't think Season 3 is worse. It's just telling a different kind of story. While Season 2 was about injury, fear, and whether you can stand back up after falling, Season 3 is more about what happens after climbing to the top and what it's like to hit your peak and eventually retire. For the first time, we see what it means when a horse girl reaches the end of her career. Your body doesn't respond the way it used to. You can't keep up with the others anymore. You're not injured. You're just done.
That's how I feel playing competitive games at 33. I'm just done. I cannot keep up with the youth anymore. With those fast hands, those fast reflexes. I'm done. I felt that the same way that she does right now. Playing Battlefield 6. I was sniping. I used to be very good at sniping in Battlefield Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3. But now, in Battlefield 6, I'm done. Can't do shit anymore. My KD was horrible. I'm slow. I don't see the people most of the time. And when I see them, I don't hit them most of the time. This is what I'm talking about, dude. Oh god, there's a bunch of enemies there. Bunch of enemies, and they see me. Fuck. No. Yeah, it is a very hard pill to swallow. I felt the same way when I recently played football. I played football all my life. I realized that my conditioning was horrible, my endurance was not there, and I'm not as fast as doing tricks anymore as I used to. Normal tricks that had like almost like 100% success rate of going around your defender. Now that I've been doing those at a slower pace, they were not 100% anymore, and that is a very hard pill that every man and woman has to swallow at some point, that we have a biological peak, athletic peak, and that peak, once you're over that peak, you will decline, unfortunately. And depending on how well you take care of your body, that decline can be very steep or not so steep. You decide.
And it happens whether you want it or not. And that's what makes this season hit for me. Kita-san's journey is about the grind, the slow and painful process of
just trying to get her support card. And it's also grind.
She did it. She reached the top. But now her time is over. What makes her arc so beautiful is that she doesn't fight it out of pride, because she remembered why she started running in the first place. It wasn't just about winning, it was about putting on a spectacle, about giving her fans something to smile about, and about making people happy. So instead of slowly fading away, Kita-san chooses her own ending with a final G1 win at the Arimakinen. It's a beautiful and graceful finale to a legendary career of 7 G1 wins. And then there's beginning of a new era movie, and its animation is just incredible. Like, I thought the Road to the Top's animation was amazing, which it is, right? But the movies is just something I've never seen before. And there's also Cinderella Grey, which released last season, and I honestly think that this is the best that Umamusume has to offer right now. And that's the thing, right now. What really stuck with me after watching Umamusume wasn't just how surprisingly good it is, or how charming the characters are, or even the insane hype of the races. The more I watched, the more I realized that this isn't just a quirky concept about anthropomorphized racehorses. It's something much more meaningful. Because at its core, Umamusume is a heartfelt tribute to the sport it's based on, and to the legends who built it.
I wonder which horse this is.
It is a multimedia franchise made by a gacha company. It exists to make money. But
2.4 billion in profits. Holy shit. Is that just for Umamusume, or do they have other gacha games as well? They must have other gacha games as well, right? 2.4 billion cannot just be horse girl game.
Honestly, don't care, because what Cygames has done here is kind of incredible. The amount of care and respect that went into this franchise is unreal.
That's so cool.
Fiction, the arcs,
like seeing the real horses side by side,
the miracles, all of it is based on real history, real horses, real moments that mean something. And knowing that gives everything a kind of emotional weight that you just don't expect. But even if you took away all the racing references, there's something else at the heart of Umamusume that makes it truly one of a kind. What's wild is that despite all the competition, there are no villains in this story. It's all about respect for their rivals, for the sport, and
I mean, in sports shows, you usually don't need a villain. Some sports shows have villains, but the whole point of a sports show is that you are fighting yourself. If you've ever done sports, you are fighting yourself every single day. Like your muscles are hurting. Should I still go to practice? Yes, let's push through. Sometimes you will lose that fight, but that is why sports shows don't really need a villain, because the biggest villain and the biggest obstacle is yourself.
For the grind each of them go through, because they know that every race is a chance to grow.
Exactly.
It's not just about beating someone, it's about becoming better with them. That's why I ended up caring about everyone.
Gotta say, the animation that we currently see, they look so clean.
Inspiring. Each girl gets her moment. I cheered when they won, I was crushed when they lost, and I laughed when they laughed, and I cried when they cried. Somewhere along the way, Umamusume wasn't just a show I liked, it became my favorite franchise. Because through these characters, we get a window into the beauty, the passion, and the history of a sport most of us never thought we'd care about. But more than anything, Umamusume has reminded me of something simple, yet powerful. It's not just about bringing home the victory, it's also about running together.
Wow. I would love to stand up and give this person a standing ovation. That was very, very good editing. Good edited video, good voiceover, good script. A love letter to Umamusume. Wow. That was really, really good. I'm not even joking. I want to watch the show now because of this video. And the surprising thing is, first of all, this creator has 1,000 subscribers. New creator, small creator, has 2 videos. And those videos are masterpieces. Like, they're very well edited. Very, very well edited. This is an ad. Ignore it. So I'm gonna give this a like. This was only possible because you recommended this creator to me. If you have more creators like that, like niche creators, creators that we don't, like I don't know yet, please let me know in the comments. Okay, give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see each other next time. Bye bye.